what do you view society would look like, let's say in 20 years from now, if we survive? The U.S. How do you envision
more unhappiness, and therefore increased alcohol use, increased
escapism,
antidepressant use, and all of that.
So do you envision the
more shootings by disgruntled people and so on and so forth?
Do you envision and foresee cultural, racial riots and conflicts amongst races?
Oh, they do. They've happened from time to time.
Right.
The first one was probably around 1834. I forget the exact year, but it started very early in the United States history.
Right.
They had these major riots. So
and even,
they'll continue. They'll get worse, more frequent.
And
if people don't shape up, wake up and shape up,
So now your views on feminism and are viewed by most nowadays females would be like they'll call you different labels that you're trying to, in your view, you're trying to subordinate them in terms of worth. Isn't that disrespectful? Or is that just putting the right peg in the right place? How would you
according to society, I'm the world's biggest hater. But the reality is, I'm simply saying that we must go back to how things were throughout history. And they worked. It's very simple. Very simple.
So you're not a fan of technological developments that change?
Technology is a mixed bag.
Right.
Of course, there's aspects of technology that I love, such as the internet, my video games, and that. But cars are problematic. Cell phones, texting, and all of that, where it separates people. It causes, the dangers of the automobile, the pollution. There's bad aspects. There's good. It's a mixed bag. There's good and bad.
So, do you drive a car?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in a society that revolves around the automobile.
Yeah,
so I don't really have a choice,
Right. How are we going to change society? What are the viable ways to head back on the right path? Is it just destroy? Would be most of the population. Who would be left? Should we just have like an Amish style global? I mean, how? What is you're a believer of eugenics and genetic engineering?
Yes, you have. I certainly believe that the Christian faith is paramount. The values that come from the Christian religion, but we need to force people in responsibility. We need to breed successful people. Lots of times you have criminal-prone people, and a lot of that's genetic. And how you have hardcore criminals, and they have a bunch of children, and then they raise them, and you know what happens.
Right.
We need intelligent people who are, law-abiding, have these good qualities, and they have them produce the children and raise them correctly, and create that society that way. And people have demonized everything that's good and say it's bad.
Yeah, how do you feel about adoption?
Adopting is good, but it doesn't change the adopted children's genetics.
Yeah.
Intelligence is mostly genetic, and you can't have a society an advanced society with everybody having just a 90 IQ. You need doctors. You need people who are doctors. You need people who are electrical engineers. You need architects. Many things require an advance in intelligence. The sewage system, that's a complex thing to run that. You need people of high intelligence. You need, that's a factor as well. Not just being a nice person. Yes, you need, the morals in that, but you also need the intelligence to run society. You can't be,
You believe that there is life in our outer space and other planets?
I'll vote on the positive side of that. I would say there probably is, but that's just my opinion. It's possible that there's not, because we have not. There's no proof of that, but I'm open-minded to that. Okay. Most people today want to believe in that, and I'm open-minded to that. There's a lot of religious people who are very close-minded to that possibility. They say God only created our planet, and we're the only ones. It's very geocentric. But for me, I'm very open-minded to that concept. It does not contradict my faith at all.
So what about people with mental issues, by genetic mental issues, or not the traumatic results of trauma, but with mental conditions like autism, perhaps learning disabilities, language disabilities, and that sort of thing? Do you believe that we need more research to be able to prevent those?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. It's a major barrier with getting along with all other people. It's a major barrier for getting good jobs. I mean, that has to. We need genetic engineering to figure out if there's defective, cells in that. Because I have such a condition, and it's
just an added burden. But aren't there
it would make life, without my parents' support of me, life would be unlivable. Basically, you can't have producing more and more of such people who are just going to be treated like garbage,
right?
Or who will be unable to cope with life or whatever. We have to tackle that problem.
So in a perfectly developed society, a couple that might otherwise seem to hold promise to breeding good kids might be prohibited from having children because of these genetic dysfunctionalities that will manifest themselves in a human with problems.
If we know that certain traits are inherited in an absolute sense, then we need to prevent people from certain people from perpetuating handicaps. The children could be born in a different way with a better genetic component and weight, and then because this is it's getting. We need people to run society, not burden society.
Gotcha. So, but some traits that are genetic are good.
Well, then let's have those parents who have those good traits have children.
You have a major priority of animal welfare and environmentalism. Yes. And what would you like to see happen that's not already happening in terms of animal welfare? Well, you have shelters and people adopt animals, but then they're putting them down as well.
Well, throughout history, animals dominated the planet, and now humans are dominating the planet and taking all the territory and turning it into roads and parking lots and parking garages and such like, and wiping out the trees, wiping out all the habitats. So I would like to see a decrease in the world population and a dramatic increase in the amount of territory for animal habitats.
Okay. I think that's good for now, and we'll pick it up some other time. And I want to thank you for taking the time to adjust to my busy schedule, my crazy schedule.